The future starts right now. It starts right now. And I've spent years sacrificing right now for the future. And sacrificing right now for the future will never get you to a future that you want. Hi, I'm Jason Drees. Welcome to the Do the Impossible podcast. Don't forget to go to MondayMindsetReset.com to join me every Monday for a 20-minute mindset alignment call. Today, let's talk about the curse of being an entrepreneur. The curse of being an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, you know what I mean. If you're not an entrepreneur, you should become one because there's nothing like it. But one of the things that I've consistently noticed in myself and in my clients is the desire for more, the desire for things to be different, the desire to change things, the desire to, it can't be better than this. And it's been coming up this week a lot because I'm filming this right after Christmas. And between Christmas and New Year's is a great time to spend time with your families, to take some time off work and really relax and rest. After all, you have worked an entire year already. But as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, I'm actually my own boss. I'm looking at my week right now going, okay, well, I should take some time off. Alexis is like, are you taking time off? And I'm like, oh my God, there's less demands on me this week because other people are taking time off. So I can get even more done this week. But getting even more done this week isn't really what's needed, right? What's needed this week is rest. What's needed this week is balance. And it's hard to do that. And I'm seeing it in my elite clients as well. I'm seeing this desire to keep pushing, this desire to keep expanding. And it's kind of the nature of being an entrepreneur. Like I always see things as better, as opportunities to be better. Some people could say when I'm look at my point of view and say it's never enough. And I don't know why I operate that way. I just always see a better, higher quality version of what's in front of me right now. It's the nature of how I operate. It's been that way my entire life. And it really got accelerated when I started to get into coaching because I started to figure out how to make that happen more effectively. Because when you get into coaching, coaching helps you get clarity and more powerful, and it increases your ability to execute. So when you start to realize that all of those things you want can start to happen, you start doing more and more. And the more you do, the more it flows, the more it expands, the more it goes. And it's just this never-ending kind of cycle of more. And then it's like we should be grateful for the present. How do we be grateful for the present? We want more. So there's this entrepreneur struggle of like excitement for the chase, excitement for the expansion, excitement for the growth and the evolution and the figuring out. Like that's fun for entrepreneurs. Like it's fun to do things you haven't done before. It's fun to learn how to do things that are new. But how do you do that and stay in alignment? Because I've literally had almost years of my life where I've been living in the future because my present wasn't what I wanted. I didn't have the house I wanted or the money I wanted or the things I wanted. So it was like this obsession with getting that. And when you live in the future, you're ignoring the present. And then you end up in this space of rushing. And rushing is not good. Rushing is not good because you often have a lower quality product. It has an impact on your body, your health. It has an impact on your family, those around you. And when you start rushing and living in the future, it never stops. Like I've lived there for years and I'm still winding down. Like when you're in resistance to the present because you're focused on the future goal, and that's actually what happens to most entrepreneurs is they're so focused on the future and they're rushing to get there. And that rushing is actually resistance to the present moment. And when you're in resistance to the present moment, you are in a place where things don't happen because resistance prevents movement. And that's why rushing is so bad. Rushing is this thing is like, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. So the mindset shift is really, it's amazing and I'm excited for what's next. It's amazing. I love what I've created and I'm excited for what's next. Now, I've coached myself and coached other people countless times with that point of view. Yeah, we'll appreciate now. But I've never been good at practices of gratitude or appreciation. Even at times in my life when a person would have more gratitude and appreciation, I just don't feel that. I just kind of understand that this is the way my life is, and I created that, and what's next? So like I literally am wired for the next evolution. And it's something I literally can't stop thinking about. And as I've been working through this week myself of like taking time off and getting things done, and there's things to do in the business and I got to do those, there's always things to do in the business. It never ends. It never ends, right? It never ends. It's always time to do it in the business, right? There's always more and more and more and more. But this rushing, eventually, it'll start to cause problems, right? Last week, my body needed some attention. And the rushing and the stress I've been operating under for my body is not helping. So my body required some attention. So my ability to rush started to slow down last week and this week. As I take some time to take care of me, because that's what needs to happen right now. But the desire for it to be different is still there. I was talking to a friend, his name's Larry Martin, and he was saying, Jason, your energy is so great that your body can't keep up. And I'm like, okay, that sounds about right. So I'm starting to realize that this internal desire in me is almost like there's this mission I was born to take. At times I have clarity on that mission. And times I have a lot of clarity on the next leg or the next chapter. And sometimes I can see the whole book ahead. But it's what drives me. It's what excites me. And I love my family, and I love my wife, and I love my children, and I love taking vacations and hobbies. And at the same time, I love work I do. I love the work I do. It's exciting. It's challenging. It's rewarding. It's satisfying. It's fulfilling. I get compensated in a way that's great. I love that. I get to make clients. I have clients that are amazing friends that we're growing through this journey together. I get to make this impact. And I change people's lives, and it's fun to do that, and it's satisfying. And as I live my life, this process of my growth and expansion evolves the coaching I do. So as I grow and expand, the work I do grows and expands. And though as I grow and expand, it creates more impact. So it's like I love what I'm doing. But I've still been living way too much in the future, more. And it's that challenge of the entrepreneur. It's like that struggle to, like, I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, how do you see the future as better than it is now? Because I think that's what entrepreneurs do. How do you see the future as better than you do now, and at the same time, savor and love the present? And I've coached people a lot on this. And I'm like, well, you got to do a gratitude practice, right? Or you got to take time to journal, slow down. But often I don't like to slow down. I like to go. Some of that's rushing, and some of that's moving at the pace that I like to move, because when you're knocking stuff off that fast, it's very satisfying. So there's also this like celebrate and, right? Instead of not enough, it's and. Well, how do I celebrate the present? So I would talk to clients and I'd be like, okay, well, what if it was the present is amazing and I'm excited for what's next? The present is amazing and it's exciting for what's next. But if I get too focused on the present is exciting, I start to feel like I'm going to lose my drive, and I'm going to start to lose my desire, and I'm going to start to get lazy, and I'm going to start to fail and not succeed. So there's this fear of operating that way. And I think if you're an entrepreneur starting your own business or starting your business, that you may think that too. Like, it's because when you get caught up in that more, there is a little resistance in there. Now, a little resistance is good because it creates movement. Living in total resistance is bad. But that resistance can come up in different ways. So that resistance is like there for you to say, no, life, that's not how I want it. I'm going to change it. But it's a fine line between living in that chase for the future where it's exciting, where we like to live, and resistance to the present. Because the resistance to the present is you're missing your life now. And as much as I've tried to balance those two in the past, I've really started to understand that there's a new point of view that will actually give me everything I want. Because everything that I'm actually chasing in the future is whether it's a bigger business or more free time or more money or more freedom. And what it really comes down to is really freedom. Money is really the vehicle for that. So everything I'm really after is the ability to do whatever I want. And feel however, and those are actually feelings. So if we dive into those, like that future that I'm chasing feelings. And while some people get attached to the actual work itself, that's not me. Now, I like doing the work. But if I imagine I hit all those targets right now, would I have any problem working one day a month? No. I could completely fill my time one day a month. So for me, I'm not married to the work, I'm married to the destination. And that's where I'm going to go, no matter how long it takes, because that's my mission. What I'm starting to realize right now is that the way that I've been operating my life to hit that mission, to hit that endpoint, is not working anymore. The stress is building up, my hair is getting thinner. And the last week, my body is under stress and it's pushing back and needing more attention than it did before because I'm like 49 years old. I'm not old, not 29. But the level of alignment I've been operating in was not where it needed to be. And the level of alignment I've been operating in was alignment with the target. And alignment with the target is one of the 5 steps of alignment. Like the Do the Impossible framework is understanding how it works, right? Then there's alignment with success, alignment with time, alignment with money, alignment with yourself, and then alignment with the process. So while I've been in alignment with a lot of these things, the mode of operation I've been using needs to evolve. And I'm starting to get physical symptoms that I can't operate that way anymore. I wish I had these physical symptoms sooner so I could have changed direction, but that's kind of the path. Like it's just too much stress. I was actually talking to a friend today and I was like, how do I lower my stress? And I'm like, maybe I should go hang out with a bunch of midwives because we had, Alexis had all our 4 boys naturally and we've had midwives and they are the most calm people I've ever met. So I'm like, maybe my new stress relief practice is hanging out with midwives and going to midwife meetups. But there was like this mode of operation needed to change. So does your mode of operation need to change? Are you operating under stress? Are you operating under constant resistance? Because there's these fears that we're trying to avoid with the action. This fear of failure, fear of running out of money, fear of success. So we can be falling into these patterns where we are avoiding the emotion we're feeling in the present situation by living in the future. I did that for years. For years, I lived in the future, ignoring the painful truth of being broke and struggling financially. I struggled with that for so long. There's literally years that I don't remember birthdays, Christmas. I was just so fixated on the future. That's where I live my life. So I knew that there's an evolution. I'm seeing these patterns in my clients, and I can coach them into alignment. And then I started to have this breakthrough idea. And this breakthrough idea kind of stemmed from values and boundaries, something I never had. It's something that stemmed from my coach and my former client and coach, Dustin Runyon, who's amazing. He was talking about values and how like the guiding boundaries of your life. And I realized that I didn't have any values because I was in sacrifice mode. Well, what do you value? Family? I'm like, he asked me like, what do you value? And I'm like, success. Like, well, what about family? I'm like, well, they don't matter because I wasn't at the target yet. Because I was still operating in this frame of scarcity, of fear, of self-sacrifice. Because in 2013, 2014, we were in a situation where financially was really difficult. Literally buying groceries was difficult. So it was like survival mechanism. Everything else is irrelevant. I need to fix this financial problem ASAP. And that's the model I was under during that time frame. And what I didn't realize until recently, past few months, I've still been operating in that frame of scarcity. And by having no values, nothing, but without being able to clearly articulate what I value, I was in sacrifice for everything. And that was killing me. It was showing up in the work I do. It was showing up in the books I done, like the rushing. It was just everywhere. Go, 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 go. And that led me to this point right now, this transition, this crossover point right now. This transition point right now is the next evolution. I had to be that way to get here. If I keep operating that way, it's going to kill me. I'm going to explode because I can't work that way anymore. And I don't want to work that way anymore. I'm ready to evolve. Now, I've got a shit ton of work I want to do, but it doesn't mean I have to do it all. Because I'm not married to the work. I'm married to the result. And next year for me is the year of getting my life back because I'm tired of killing myself. So this next year is really the leverage game and like, how can I be more strategic? How can I be more focused? How can I be more disciplined and focus clearly on my values to radically, radically, radically shift my life? And here's the breakthrough that is I'm going through right now is like, I want to change the future to be at a place that's different and because I can see it better. But here's the breakthrough. Like the future starts right now. It starts right now. And I've spent years sacrificing right now for the future. And sacrificing right now for the future will never get you to a future that you want. It'll get you to an average future. Because the key to getting everything you want is to want everything you already have. Because the mindset of it's never enough will never be satisfied. And one of the biggest obstacles that I'm learning how to face right now, I thought one of the biggest obstacles I was going to have to tackle was creating success. It's not. Creating success and money is easy for me. One of the hardest obstacles in my life, the next chapter of my life, is mastering the process of being happy now with what I've got. As silly as that sounds, success and money is easy. Being happy, enjoying myself is hard, which sounds ridiculous, but that's how I operate. And I guarantee all you entrepreneurs listening to me understand what I'm talking about. So here is the solution. The solution is get your goals. Focus on your goals. Focus on your goals. Get clear on your goals like you like to. And architect the present. Shift that priority. Instead of architecting the future, architect the present. And bring in the habits on a daily basis and the values, which are the bumpers to guide you. Bring in the values, bring in the habits to execute consistently, because discipline today equals freedom tomorrow. Freedom today equals discipline tomorrow. Focusing on the present, there's a little fear that goes off. If I focus on right now, what's going to happen in the future? What you want to have, what you do now is going to turn into the future. So there's a little fear going on. So we can shift that right now. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. I understand the truth. The way to get everything I want is to take the action in the present that will lead me to it. That is a fact right there. I believe that 100%. Wow. What a concept. Architecting the present to feel how you want to feel, to be how you want to feel, to be how you want to be, have your life right now, the way you want it to be. What do you think of this thought process? Do you like it? This is coaching in action. It really is. Have you noticed how I'm coaching myself as I'm coaching you? It's because that's the frame I operate from. If you want to harness this power of coaching in your life, if you're ready to play at the level I play at. Go to freeintrosession.com, freeintrosession.com. That's freeintrosession.com, and book a Do the Impossible goal-setting session. My team will walk you through identifying your intuitive, gut-based impossible target. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed this dive into the curse of the entrepreneur. Join me next episode, as we continue this evolution into the mindset of success and diving into greatness. I'm Jason Drees with Jason Drees Coaching and the Do the Impossible podcast. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.